All right, welcome to our chord melody workshop today. We got a lot of stuff to go over today. We're actually very excited as well to. Let me mute that. There we go. That was the YouTube version. Let me mute this here. Um, we're actually excited because there we go. Mute that. Good, that is muted, and that's muted. Okay. We're excited because we are releasing today our chord melody course, which is a ukulele finger style. Because you really, when you play chord melody, for the most part, you're playing finger style, right? Even if you're, even the thumb is considered finger style. Chord melody course, which is coming out today. We're gonna actually not do a song from that course. We're gonna do something completely different. I'm gonna talk to you about chord melody, go over some of the things about what is chord melody, what makes a chord melody. I did a nice little arrangement for you as well. So real quick, just before we get started with the actual stuff, and I have tons of handouts for you, and I have presentations here, and we have a absolutely, really a kind of a crazy offer for you as well for this course. This is our normal time that we do a Q&A every Friday morning. If you're watching it live, if you're watching it later, then it's different. But we do this Q&A every Friday morning for our platinum members. So all the platinum members, welcome to this. It's going to be awesome for you. It's great to see you all here. If you're not a platinum member and you just signed up for this somewhere, wherever you might have saw this, welcome. Welcome here on our Zoom call, and also if you're over on our YouTube channel, that at Uke Like The Pros on YouTube, welcome as well from over there. And so we're going to be going through this. Let me just show you real quick. So what is chord melody? And before I dive too deep into it, and the members will recognize this particular thing. This is not really what we're going to be teaching today, but it's in your handout if you haven't got a handout already. But let me just kind of show you what chord melody is. So if we take a song, any song, doesn't matter, and we play the melody. In this case, we're going to do Wildwood Flower, which was a song we did for an arrangement, a chord melody challenge we had recently for our members. And again, I'm just going to show you this particular song for demonstration, and then we actually have a different song that we've never done before, in an arrangement no one's ever seen before. But if we take the melody of this song Wildwood Flower, which is an old classic Americana song. Now that's just the melody, right? Just the melody. There's no chord. I didn't play any chords. Someone might be strumming in the background while I'm playing that. Someone might be singing it. But what we want to focus in today is chord melody. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that melody we just played, I'm going to apply chords to it. Now there's easy ways to do chord melody. There's hard ways to do chord melody. We're going to talk about all that. But let me just show you how we can take this simple melody, and then we can turn it into something cool. All right, so you notice now I've added some chords, I've added some different things, some slides, some various things in it to make it now sound more thicker, right? Sounds more like a complete song, all within our instrument. So anyway, that was Wildwood Flower. That's an arrangement that I think is in the handout. I just included it anyways. We may go over a little bit of that, but probably not, because we really have taken a simple song today that I'm going to teach you, which is Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. I maybe thinking, oh my gosh, that's such an easy song. But there's a reason behind it. And I did actually some really cool things to that. I'm actually pretty happy with the arrangement for it. So, and also I got to stay on top of the chat here just in case I'm doing something wrong or can't hear me or something like that. So I'll stay on top of that as well. Sometimes I get in my own little thing. By the way, we put the chat in there as well, the handout, and we'll be using you'll be using this handout. But anyway, we're going to jump into it. So grab your ukes. This is going to be an interactive playing workshop. And we'll talk more about the offer later. Of course, if you're a platinum member, this course is already going to automatically show up in your library. So look for that. I don't know if it's there now. We'll be there later today. I'll let my team know about it. But anyway, that will show up automatically. So all the platinum members get all the course automatically. If you're not, we have a ridiculous offer. We want to make the offer so good for you today that you can't not take it, which is actually going to include a free ukulele as well today with the course offer. So we'll talk about that. It is in the handout too if you want to do it, but we're excited. We're very excited about this. And don't worry if you're a baritone lover. We do have a baritone version of this course that we'll come out with shortly, and we'll probably do another workshop more dedicated to the baritone. All right, so let's jump in. You kind of saw what chord melody was. I'm just going to continue to look at my chat here just to make sure I'm not missing anything. I want to check over on the YouTube stream. Okay, so it looks like we're good. Thanks everybody if you're on the YouTube stream as well. That's at Uke Like The Pros. But anyway, what is chord melody? Okay, I want to talk a little bit more about it. We kind of touched about it. So remember, whenever we're playing what's chord melody, and I learned this, there is a handout. It was just put in a chat. There was also emailed to you. So if you signed up for this workshop, that would have been emailed to you as well. And of course, so anyway, you should have all that. But remember, I've stressed this so many times. Always remember the melody. And this is a lesson I learned back when I was at USC. I was getting my master's degree, studio jazz guitar. I was just like, I cleaned off the counters and everything for you guys today. We got all fancy. I'm actually using a different computer too today. Hopefully it looks a little better. But I was back at USC. I was getting my master's degree in studio jazz guitar. And I was working with a great jazz guitar player, kind of a modern 20th century sounding guitar player named Joe Diorio. If you have never heard of him, go check him out. Joe Diorio. D-I-O-R-I-O, Diorio. And we were doing it. He would send me off each week to do these chord melody arrangements. Now this was on guitar, not ukulele. And he was really an abstract kind of player. At least his playing grew abstract, and he would play these really rich chords and big stretches and stuff. And so I came in with an arrangement of a song. I don't remember what it was. It might have been something like Summertime or something like that. And I played it for him, and I thought, this is going to be so cool. I used some of his chords that, he's shown me and I've seen, and I'm like really excited about it. And he stopped me during the middle of it, and he said, I lost the melody. Like, I don't hear the melody. Like, you got to always bring that melody out. And that's really important, because we play music for ourselves, but we also play music for others and with others. So remember that. Whenever you're doing anything related to the ukulele, guitar, whatever it is, and you're doing any kind of chord melody arrangement, always you want to be able to hear that melody, even if you're doing some real thick chords, beautiful chords. And that was a lesson I learned. And if you followed me or are part of our membership or anything like that, you know that I always talk about it. So always keep the melody intact. Okay, good. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about, before we get to the actual arrangement I did of Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, maybe I should play it real quick. It's kind of cool. Don't look at it ahead of time. I know you have it, it's in your handout. Hopefully you didn't go and learn it. And I did something unique in this arrangement. I'll play the arrangement real quick, and then we'll kind of get to how I got to this arrangement. But what I did is each section I wanted to do something a little different, okay? So you really have a bunch of different things going on for this simple song, which is Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Okay, so here's the arrangement. Check this out. Right, that's kind of like the basic version. Now we're going to change it up a little bit. You guys know what those are, and then check this out. Change it up again. We've been working on both of these, and then the last part is going to even change it again. Now I did this on purpose because I wanted to show you a bunch of different techniques that you can use for chord melody. So it's kind of like it starts a little simpler and it has some cool ideas. Those were, by the way, thirds and sixths. Both of what we've been working on in our late, Q&As lately, or even our beginning Q&A that we have. And then I went a little thicker at the end with some bass movement. All right, and we're going to get into all of that. But how do I get there? How do I get to this particular point? First step, and then grab your uke, so you'll be playing with me, is we have to play the melody. So most ukulele, answer me this question. Most ukulele players, or most ukulele songs, let's say we take any of our books we sell, what key is the majority of ukulele songs in? Okay, so if you have the Daily Ukulele or any of the ukulele fake books that are out there, you realize that most songs are in the key of C, and that's why is that? Because on the ukulele, C is such a great key to play some of our first songs, right? By the way, thanks for being here. I'm excited. We're probably going to go a little longer than our normal Q&A time that we have. So if you can stick around, great. Anyway, hopefully you get a lot out of this. And then if this style interests you, because this is, the chord melody is definitely something that's a little bit more challenging than this some simple strumming. But hopefully, if you interested in it or like it, we actually are giving away, including one of our JT models, with the offer today. And this is our soprano long neck. And also I have my concert and my tenor here. But anyway, we're including that in today's offer. So excited about that. We really decided to bring a lot of value to you guys today. But anyway, we got to play the melody. So grab your ukes. So the first thing would be, we'd probably find a melody in the key of C. So let me share this with you. Okay, so this is... okay, this is what I forgot about this thing here. Sometimes when I share, it's not coming up. So let me do this. Let me close all this stuff out real quick. Let me close this out. That way I know when I'm... I forgot there's some kind of sharing option with Zoom that you got to give them permission to share, or they don't let you. There's always something that you gotta figure out. Host participant. Okay, so let me see if this works. Let me close this out. And if not, I can log in from I got my other computer sitting right here too. I can log in from there and do it. All right, let me close all those out. Let me open this as... Okay. All right, there it is. Here we go. Hopefully this will fix it. Yes. Okay, turn it on. There we go. Okay. Yes. All right. All right, good. This should have... I think this fixed it. Good. It's always a problem when you use a new computer here. So give me 1 second. Let me get this back up. So this is going to be Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. I mean, I know it's a basic song as far as, something we've heard as kids or something. But there's actually... sometimes these easier songs... There we go. Perfect. All right. Can you see Twinkle Twinkle Little Star? Give me a thumbs up if you can. Good. All right, so this is the melody, and this is in the key of C. So this would probably be a place to start, because we got to figure out what key works for us. And I'll talk to you about what makes a good key. So everybody, let's play this. If you can play the tab's here at the bottom. If you read notation, here it is. And if you can't read either, just strum the chords. Here's the simple chords basically right there. But let's play it together. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Second line. And last line. All right, so how did you do on that? We always do a scale 1 to 5 in our chat. Just put that 1 through 5. either here on the Zoom or in the comments below for our YouTube people. Okay, so pretty simple melody, right? And that works okay. That actually is not a bad key. So if I was to do some kind of chord melody just off the cuff, I didn't arrange it in a key of C because we're still talking about what makes a good key. So I'd play probably something just. Now that makes a decent chord melody. Matter of fact, the last time we did a chord melody workshop, this was a homework assignment, if you remember that. It was probably a couple years ago. But I gave you a homework assignment of coming up with a melody or a chord melody for Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. And some of you did. I remember we went over it. Now, that's fine, right? What I played was fine. I mean, it's nothing fancy. It sounds fine, right? Nothing that kind of like, oh my gosh, that was so cool. But it works. So this is an okay key. Now, what I generally, as a rule of thumb, like to do is I like to try to keep the melody up on the first or second string as much as possible, and even work up the neck a little bit, because it gives you some nice chords and some nice, timbres when you move up the neck. When you're kind of stuck down here a lot, you're kind of limited in some of the things you can do, right? Some of the chord shapes, you're kind of limited. So this key of C, like I said, worked. What I don't like about it is it starts on that third string. So I try to avoid too many notes. Okay, this is not 100%, always changes. By the way, I'm using low G today. If you have low G or high G, it doesn't matter for what we're doing today. But I try to avoid the melody on the third or fourth string. I try to keep it on strings 2 and 1 as much as possible. And if I have to go down, sometimes that's fine. So this is an okay key, but maybe there's a better key. So let's do it again. Let's change keys. And what we'll do is we'll keep kind of close to C. So what is the closest two keys to the key of C? If we went to the flat keys and we went to the sharp keys. Where's my music people out there? Those are like circle of fifths. And by the way, we did do a circle of fifths workshop as well back a few years ago. But if I was thinking, if I'm in a key of C, right? Think of your circle of fifths. I'm in a key of C. What's my closest two keys that would be next to C? You didn't know you had to think this morning or afternoon or wherever you are. Okay, so, and if you've never heard of the circle of fifths or don't know what that is or don't even know what a key is, that's fine. We're not a theory. We're not going into theory today. I just like to throw these questions out to you once in a while. So, exactly. I think the next one would be the key of F. That would be my next one. So what I did is I took this melody in the key of C and I put it in the key of F. So let's read it in the key of F and see if this is a good key for a chord melody as well. All right, so here it is. And again, this is in the handout, and also everything's in the handout as well. So you got the QR codes for the course offer, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. Or if you want to just skip the offer and just join the Platinum membership, then there's a link in there as well. Both, by the way, today you get a free ukulele. Okay. All right, so let's go to this. Let's play the melody in the key of F now. Okay, so just the melody. A little bit harder chords because you got this B flat chord here. Play the melody, read the notation, or strum the chords. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. And second line. So now there's the key of F. How did you do reading this new key? You notice it starts to do with some of the things I talked about, which is it stays off the third and fourth string, so that's a plus. It kind of starts moving up the neck a little bit. I'm up here on the 5th fret for some of these, so that's a plus as well. All right, so how did you do in the key of F? Hey, what's up, Greg? Yeah, it's great to see you all. I'm just gonna shout a few people out here on the Zoom call, Sandy and Karen. If you're totally brand new, by the way, like you're not a platinum member and you just saw this, you're just joining us today, let us know. Just say hi or something in the chat. Maybe you own one of our courses, or maybe you bought something from our Terry Carter Music Store website or something. But anyway, you're here. Maybe you saw us on Facebook or Google or whatever. Anyway, it's great to see you all. I appreciate you taking the time to do this. And hopefully, I'm excited about it. I can't wait. I'm excited to teach you this arrangement because sometimes things just come out. Cool things come out. All right. Now here's the key of F, right? So would this make a good chord melody? I think so. Let me just come up again with something on this top of my hand, and at some point you'll be able to do this too, where you'll just be able to look at the music, you'll be able to look at the chords, and you'll kind of be able to come up with something off the top of your head. Okay, so this would be in the key of F. Now we have a little bit of a problem with this B flat chord, so I might have some new chords here. And that's what's cool about chord melody. You start coming up with chords you may not always play, and then or that. It works, right? Excuse me. I'm gonna drink some water. So this would actually be a key I would consider. It's not a bad key. The chords fit pretty nicely on there. You get a little bit of a toughness with some of these B flat chords and where the melody is. But we have options now, right? We have these chords that move up and down the neck, and that's what's cool about chord melody. Whether you're just learning, I mean, we have a lot of chord melody stuff, especially in our Q&As we've done over the years, but you come up with new chord shapes that you're not used to playing up and down the neck. But anyway, this key does work pretty well. I would actually consider maybe doing an arrangement on it, because you saw me, I was just doing that off the cuff, some nice ideas. And then you can kind of go in there and tweak and come up with some cooler stuff. But most of you, I think if you took the key of C and the key of F, you guys could probably come up with some kind of chord melody that would work as far as it would sound pretty cool. But what I want to do is I want to kind of I want to blow this up today, and I want to give you something really cool, some cool ideas of how you can start approaching some of your own chord melodies. All right, so then what we had talked about was we had another key that was important, right? We did the key of C, went down to the key of F. Now if we go back to the key of C and we go up, this time to the sharp key, we get the key of G. So here's the same melody again, but now we're in the key of G. So think about it. If we're in the key of F, and now we're going to G, all of the notes should move up, right? Because F is a whole step away from G. So everything we just played is now going to move up. So now we're going to move a little bit higher up the neck. Okay? So let's try the key of G. Again, we're just doing the melody. Keeping it simple for now. So this should be and this is all in your handout. Okay, all these different versions are in your handout. So I know it's kind of a long process picking a key, and I do this pretty fast. Like if I'm picking a key, it just takes a couple minutes, right? We're spending a little bit of extra time here for it, but I just want to show you what I think here. So let's play this now. Key of G now. Key signature, one sharp. Play the melody, notation, or strum the chords, whatever you feel comfortable with. Here, 1, 2, a little faster, 3, 4, and... Now again, this is a pretty good key, isn't it? Because it covers all the bases we talked about. It doesn't get too low. Oh, I see some party hats going on here in I guess there's an anniversary going on. Okay, happy anniversary. We're not too low. And again, it doesn't mean that it's bad, 100% bad to be too low, because if you guys remember when we did our Silver Bells, remember our Silver Bells arrangement? Remember when we did our Silver Bells song? And by the way, just to let you know, if this is something you like, and we're going to release it sooner than later, I actually have already filmed a Christmas chord melody course as well. So if you like Christmas songs and want to do this, it's not out yet, but it's coming. But if you took a song like Silver Bells, which is remember that we did that recently as part of our Christmas chord melody stuff. But this song, when you get to the next part of the song, which is the chorus, so again, nothing is 100%. So when I say stay off the low strings, that is not always stay off the low strings, right? There's always exceptions to it. So, but I do want just kind of a rule of thumb. Now, if I did a basic chord melody to this, which I kind of showed you already, it would just be something like this, right? Now that works, doesn't it? That would be like if I was just to look at it, if I was sight reading it, let's say I was doing a gig and I had to play a bunch of Christmas songs, like, and I just had to sight read some chord melodies, that's something I could do, right? The chords sit pretty nicely, moving up and down the neck a little bit, not too much, but it works. So here's a little tip for you, pro tip. Most songs, chord melody, work really well in these three keys, C, F, and G. Okay, because they're really good keys for us. Now, for this particular song, the key of A would actually probably be pretty good, right, too? Because now we're just moving up a little higher up the neck. So that would work, especially if you wanted to cover a little bit more territory on the neck. But anyway, those three keys, C, F, and G, do work really well for a lot of songs. Just so you know. But again, that doesn't mean sometimes we won't do something in the key of D or the key of A. Okay, but if you're looking for a starting point, that's a good one. And by the way, these songs are great. Children's songs or holiday songs, any songs that the melody is pretty simple, pretty diatonic, doesn't move around a lot, the chords aren't too fancy, work really well. Now you can take this and apply it to pop songs or jazz songs. You can do all that too. And we've done that as well. But I want to keep it kind of simple for us today. Now, what's another thing we have to look for? So we picked the keys. Let's say we're going to stick with the key of G, because that's what I did. I did do the key of G. By the way, how many people like chord melody? I think it's something that we get a lot of interest in. But let me know if you like chord melody. I love it. As a matter of fact, before I really dove into the ukulele, I made a living basically doing chord melody as a guitar player. So when I was in college, when I was up at USC in LA getting my master's degree, I basically worked my way through school playing gigs doing mostly chord melody stuff. And the reason for that, if you think about it, is one, I'm the only person, so I can go into any club or restaurant or bar and I could get a job just by myself. So I don't have to pay a drummer or a saxophone player or anything like that. No, I can do it all myself. Two, you can cover all the parts you need, right? You can cover the melody, you can cover the chords, you can cover everything you need to do. So now I worked a lot. I used to work 7 nights a week doing gigs and mainly chord melody stuff for a good stretch of time, especially when I was in school itself. So I've always loved chord melody. I love the thickness of it. I love how it sounds. It's just something cool. And then again, you don't need a lot of people. You can do it all yourself. Yeah, I was young, Elaine. I was young and no kids. Right? When you're young and you're no kids, I wasn't even married at the time. I was dating my wife, my now wife, but yeah, it was different time, right? Different, completely different time compared to now. Spending birthdays up in Disneyland and stuff like that. All right, next thing is we have to figure out what kind of arrangement we want to do. Do we want to do kind of a simple arrangement? Do we want to do a fancy arrangement? Do we want to kind of do a thick arrangement? Do we want to do a thin arrangement? And I have a great example for you. So check this out. It's not this song, Twinkle Twinkle, but it's actually something we did for the Christmas chord melody song. And I did an arrangement of O Come Emmanuel. Okay, so another holiday classic. So here's what I mean by this. Here's kind of a simple arrangement, right? So check this song out. I gotta play along because I love the next when we get to the chorus. Now that's a pretty, like what I was saying, it's kind of a simple arrangement, nothing too fancy. The chords don't sound crazy, right? It's pretty simple to play. But we could take a song like that, which I did, and we can make it a little bit more advanced, add some more chords. So now we have another version. And by the way, all the Platinums have this because they probably remember that when we did this. But now I can take that same song and make it a little bit thicker, a little bit more advanced by doing something like this. Chord there. So you got to decide what kind of arrangement do you want to do. Do you want to do something like that? Matter of fact, I did those two versions because we did an easier version and a harder version. But I like that kind of stuff. A little bit thicker, a little bit harder. Now I didn't put that in the handouts. That will be out. That actually is part of the Christmas chord melody course that we have coming out, both for ukulele and baritone as well. All right, I'm just looking at my notes here. So we're talked about the melody is king. We talked about being able to play the melody by itself. We talked about, well, obviously you got to know the chords to the song as well. And we talked about finding a good key. We've talked about what kind of arrangement do you want to do. Do you want to do a simpler or harder or abstract or diatonic, meaning kind of real sound, everything sounds really good. And not too like when you get to those diminished chords and you hear some of this stuff. So you got to decide what you want to do on it. So let's dive into this, okay? So I want to dive into the actual arrangement that I did for you. This is specifically written for you today. Okay? This is not, nobody has this. Well, you have it now. Nobody's had it. We've never gone over it. There's no video for it anywhere. This is, you're seeing it live, okay, for this Twinkle Twinkle Little Star arrangement. That I kind of did a bunch of different stuff. Let me play it for you again, just so you have it in your head, and then we'll dive into it. I think I got it memorized, but let me just pull it up. Just have it. Okay, so this is what you're going to be learning now today. That's pretty basic, right? That's what I played. That's if I was just looking at it. That's pretty basic. But now I added some cool things. And then I've never done this before, but this sounded really good. counterpoint, and then I thickened it up here. So now, I think at least, you've taken a simple song, simple melody, simple chords, and you've made it, I think, entertaining, at least. Like, it's cool, it's fun to play, and there's a lot of stuff. So we're going to go over that. Again, the handouts, you should have them emailed to you, and we'll put them in the chat as well. Okay, yeah, so I know, yeah, things come up. Thanks, Cindy. It's nice to see you here. You know, we try to do these free events and various things to get everybody involved, and then hopefully, you know, get you to get up this course today, which is one of our goals here. But again, I'm giving a free ukulele away, and then also we still have like a few left. I think 3 of our these ukuleles that we're giving out to the yearly platinum members. Okay, so we'll talk about that in a little bit. Great, thank you. Put it in the chat. All right, so let's dive into it. Grab your ukes. If you haven't had it already, you should have it. Grab your ukes. I'm gonna try to make this nice and big for us. I want to just focus on the first part today. I don't want to don't go ahead. I know how you guys like to go ahead and do things. Thanks for sticking around, by the way. A good turnout here on our Zoom call and also over on our YouTube. So thank you for that. What else? What's a better way to spend a beautiful Friday morning or afternoon or evening? I know you're all over the world. It's actually raining here. It's drizzly. So very, very weird weather for us. Anyway, let's look at this. So this here is the same thing we looked at earlier with the melody, right? Oh, if you look at the top note here of all these chords, top note meaning the higher strings, meaning second or first string, that's the same melody that we played earlier. So but now what I did is add some chords. Now if you notice, if you look at the chord diagrams, they're a little bit different than just your basic chords, because now we're going to use these diagrams to make sure we get the melody in the chord. So you're going to come up with new shapes because, for example, when you do this G chord, you got to play up here on the D note on the 5th fret. You got to come up with some new shapes. Okay. Now you're also going to come up with some new fingering. So look at this G right here, and I want you to finger it a little bit different. I know we're used to fingering our G. Let me show you here. Right, we're normally used to fingering our G like this, right, when we're strumming. But I want you to change it today. I want you to do it like this with your first and your second finger only, because that's how it starts. And I'll talk about that's another important thing now that we're diving into this. I'll go over is where the melody note is, knowing what string it's on. But we got to get to essentially this chord. If you want to start with this chord, you can. Or if you want to start here and then reach it out, doesn't matter really. But that's a new shape, right? That's probably a shape you're not used to playing a lot of times. And that's what's going to happen with these chord melodies, is you're going to come up with these new and different chord shapes. So the next point that's very important, is this is extremely important, is stopping on the right string. So notice this is a G chord, but we're not playing the first string here. If you start playing the wrong string on these chords, you're going to start losing the melody. Remember, the melody is king. So when you're playing, and it doesn't matter if you're playing finger style, using your fingers, or using your thumb, make sure you stop on the right note, because in this case, the melody note is right there on the 2nd string, 3rd fret. And then you bring it out to the 1st string. Let's just do that together. I'll put it back on the screen for us. Excuse me. Just the first measure here. Just the first measure. 3, 4. So it's G. And then the new G with your pinky up on the 5th fret. Again, first measure only. And. Okay, and get that melody to ring out. Now, again, with chord melody, there's so many options here. I could have played chords here on beats 2 and 4, right? I could have played even the same chord. I could have played that twice instead of breaking up with a chord here and a melody. By the way, what is the definition of a chord? I should have probably started with that. Probably would have been a a good thing to start with. Right, but I could have played, get this real big full chords, or that's fine too, right? There's options, tons of options. So remember, a definition of a chord is, who's got it, who's got it, who's got it? Yeah, we don't actually have any. We don't have a link for the handout was emailed to you. So if you signed up for it, it would have been sent out to you. So and we're putting it right here in the Zoom call. Right. So basically, a chord is. I always go back and forth. It's basically 3 notes or more at one time. Although with the guitar and ukulele, we do have power chords, so that's only 2 notes, but essentially it's 2 or 3 notes played at the same time. And that's what's so great about the ukulele. What other instruments can play more than 2 notes at a time? Really 3, I guess 3, because I know Elaine here, she's a cello player, and cello players do these double stops, right? It's not really technically a chord, is it? So it's really 3 or more notes. So what instruments can play the chords? Obviously the ukulele. Yeah, Mike says 2 notes are a dyad. So that's true. There's so much terminology out there. Like I said, you can call them power chords too. But yeah, it's not a triad. We think of a chord being a triad, 3 notes, but we'll say 3 notes today, just to keep it simple, because most of the stuff we're doing is 3 notes. No, power chords are real. They're just, they're what we call, they're very guitaristic, right? And rock music. But although, you did have those chords. Even some of the classical composers would do some stuff that had those fifths. Power chord is just the fifths. But anyway, yeah, 3 or more notes played at the same time. So, all right. So, just get back to this first measure here. Oh, what I was going to say is what instruments play. So we got, basically, if you think of all the string instruments, are great chord instruments. So you got ukulele, you got the guitar, you got the mandolin, you got the banjo, piano, which is basically a string instrument. It could be a percussive instrument as well, but piano, harp also as well. But when you think of other instruments like the flute, which is what my wife plays, saxophone, violin, right? We don't consider most of those instruments chordal instruments. We think of instruments that can play chords like the ukulele. A chord instrument, and what's so great about it is that it allows us to do the chords and what we're doing here, which is play the melody at the same time. I'm going to get a little water here. By the way, thank everybody's sticking around, so I appreciate you sticking around. All right, so let's dive into this. We just played measure 1. We're going to jump to measure 2, but stick with measure 1. Let's play this again. First measure, again. Get that G chord. It's kind of a different shape than you might be used to. Get that pinky up all the way up on the 5th fret of the 1st string. So there we go. 3, and it is. Now, notice this. I would typically play this C chord with my 3rd finger, but I put my 4th here. By the way, when you're looking at the chord diagrams, these are your fingerings right here. These are can be changed if you find something a little different. These are just the ones that I have found work for this particular arrangement. What I'm going to do is just take my pinky, is already on the 1st string, and I'm just going to slide it up to the 3rd fret, and then I'm going to play, and that's a C chord. All those open, and 7, and then pick that melody note again. And then the reason why I want to use my 4th finger, then when I slide back to the same G chord again, my pinky is already on the 1st string. All right, and that comes up with our next thing with the chord melody, is you want to try to get these notes to ring out as much as possible. So when I'm playing, notice I don't want to play like this. I don't want to play it short. I want all these notes I want them to ring out. I want it really nice and legato. So as much as you can, whether it's an open string or something you're fingering, try to keep these fingers down as much as possible. And let these notes kind of overlap and ring on top of each other. Create these beautiful harmonies and these harmonics and various things. So another important tip for our chord melody. All right, so now let's play this first two measures here. 3, 4 is. All right. You might nail it. You might be nailing it. If you want to let me know how you're doing, or it might take a little practice. Okay, we'll do it one more time, and then I'm going to move on to the next couple of measures, which aren't that bad. I think most people here, even if you're somewhat of a beginner on the ukulele, can handle this. Here we go. 3 from the beginning, and. And we haven't even talked about adding a little vibrato or hammer-ons. Remember when I was playing that Wildwood Flower earlier? Slides, all that kind of fancy stuff. Those can be added later. And we're just kind of keeping it real simple, right? Let me play the next part for you. So those are the first two measures. Actually, I'll play the first two measures and the next two measures. So. And that's with my thumb. If I want to do it finger style. It honestly depends on what kind of mood I'm in. Sometimes I just only do finger style stuff using my thumb, index, and middle, maybe my ring. And other times I just do my thumb. So I don't know what determines it. Your choice, though, of how you want to do it today. Okay, so the next part is pretty simple, right? I didn't do anything fancy. I just know here's your normal C chord here. And it's really nice on a melody when you can just play your normal chords and just strum all 4 strings, right? You don't have to stop on the second string or third, right? Just a nice big C chord. And then a nice big G chord. And then a nice big D7 chord. This is the open D7 chord. And then it does change on the G chord. You do have to stop on the second string here for that. So pretty simple if we're looking at these two measures. How I wonder what you are. Okay. All right, we'll play the whole thing. I'm glad we're not doing a lot of singing today because I got a not really sick, but just definitely got a little congestion going on. I'm glad wasn't a singing workshop today. All right, so let's play this. All right, let's play this first half, and this is probably the most kind of like if I was sight reading things, this is how I would play stuff. Pretty basic. I think if most of you came up with a chord and melody arrangement for this section, it would probably be very similar to this, right? Because it's kind of, some of this is kind of obvious, like especially the end here, like that. Those are pretty obvious because it's just your basic chords. But let's play the first 4 measures. 3, 4. Now I want it to sound like that. I didn't do anything fancy. I want that. I want to hear that, and you should be hearing that. In the chord melody. All right. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know how you're doing, dulcimer. I guess so you're crushing it. You're crushing it. Because this is, again, this is more of, this is not meant to be like, I'm going to come up with the hardest arrangement in the world or song, but just to show you. Now, actually, let me bring the melody version back up. Just the melody. So if I brought the melody version back up again, so you weren't looking at any already pre-written chord melody. And that's the great thing about this. You could all do something completely different. That's the beauty of not only music, but just chord melody arrangements, right? It could be something totally different. So here essentially is the chords, the simple chords, shapes, and the melody. Now this is your blank canvas right here. This is, what do you want to do with it? How chords do you want to do? Now I could change it up, and I actually did at first, but I decided not to do this. I could do this. G, and then do this D7, which actually sounds nice. I do like this chord. G, regular G, and then regular D7, and then back to that G with the, and then back to this D7, G. Right, so that would have been kind of the I don't like using the word obvious because that's not the right word, but for me, it would have been like, okay, this sits really nice if I just do it this way. But, as I was mentioning, instead of doing that, I did this. And really, it worked out perfectly because we've been talking about this for the last few weeks in our Q&As, both the Friday Q&A, where we were working on thirds. And also we've been working on sixths as well. So I figured, perfect. It works well. Let's throw these in. And then, matter of fact, we have a couple of etudes I wrote for you, right? The 3rd degree etude, the 6th degree etude. Some of you are working on those etudes. And I know Will has been working on them as well, but they're hard. Let's just put it that way. They're hard. All right, so that's the melody. Okay, so let's get out of that. Let me get back our chord melody back up. Let me close it out here. So what I decided to do here is just bring in these. Oh, we gained a person today. Great. More the merrier. All right. So what we decided to do here for this first part is use what we call thirds. And that's the interval between the first string and the second string. Or the first note down here, the B, or the second string and the first string. These intervals, and if you know music, you can actually visualize this. You can see, because there's always a note in between, right? There's a note on the line, there would be a note in the space, there'd be a note on the line. So this is a third. This is what's called a third, this interval. Okay, so if you look at the first two notes, which is 5 and 7, what notes are those, by the way? What are these two notes right here? 5 and 7. It's right there. Or if you don't read notation, what are these two notes? That's another thing you should. This will help you on. Okay, this chord melody course that I wrote for you is going to help you start learning the notes up the neck a little bit. We get, some of us at least, we get kind of stuck down here, but then we kind of struggle. Our mind kind of blanks out when we start moving up the neck a little bit. And this chord melody course that I wrote for you is going to help you with that. But all of you, and if you can't do this, I want you to work on this. You should be able to look at these two notes and just know what they are. And if you can't figure it out, just count up. A, B, C, D for the first string, and then E, F, G, A, B. So B and D, and that is a third, right? B, C, D, just 3 notes away. All right, so I just do this 5, 7, and it's all right here in the chord diagrams. If you need help with it, there's a fingering, everything's there. So hit that twice. Slide it down, and that's where what would be a D7 chord. Same fingerings, 1 and 3. Now I do have to change the fingerings slightly when I get to this G chord, which is frets 2 and 3, but fingers 1 and 2. And then when I go to the D7, I'm just going to slide my second finger back and hit that open right there. Okay, so we're just looking at the thirds, which is only these first two measures. So it's slide it down, 2, 3, and then 2, 0, and then it would look like this. Notice how my first finger is staying here, sliding, second finger here, and then slide that second finger back for the 2 and 0. Now, I could have just repeated that, because if you look at the melody does that again, right? Totally fine. That would have worked perfectly. Okay? Not a problem at all. But that's not how we roll here. Okay? And this was a happy experiment. Like, I didn't know this was going to sound so good, but it actually sounded really cool, because you're taking the same melody note here, 5, 5, 3, 3, 2, 2, 0. Same here, 5, 5, 3, 3. But you notice you're changing the harmony note from the second string to now the third string, and then you get this, which is cool. It's almost like these notes are moving down while the melody is staying the same. So see how much lower they are? Now these are called sixths, and this is another great technique that you can use for your chord melody, is using these sixths. It kind of helps break the song up where it doesn't have to be so thick with like these big chords, right? It just kind of lightens it up a little bit. Now for this, I am going to ask you to go fingerstyle for this. Now you can mute out the second string here, because we don't want to play the second string on these, by just drooping this finger down so it just barely touches that string. And then we get a little, we're going to have to play all straight strings there for the last one. But why don't you try this? Try to pinch it. Thumb and index, or for some reason I always use my middle. Thumb and middle finger, just pinch. Or thumb and index. So you go from the thumb, the pinch, which sounds kind of cool. There's a bunch of messages here. Just want to check those. Okay. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool, Kathy. I mean, I don't even know how it happened. I just was like, let's try it, and then it actually ended up sounding really cool, much cooler than I even thought it would be. So we're right here. Again, the shapes are here in the chord diagrams with the finger, and if you need help, but 5 and 6, and you're gonna pinch. Notice we're not playing that second string there at all. So, and I'm using my first and second fingers. And I'm just going to take that shape and slide it down to the third fret and do this. Keep it the same. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take slide my second finger down to the second fret, and I'm going to add my third finger for the 2 and 2. I'm right here on this, back to the G chord. And then just hit the open first and third string together. So. Right, and it would look like this. How the pinch goes. All right, so let's try that. I'll put it back on the screen. I know somebody, you might need it. 3 and. Now we're looking at right here. Let's do it one more time. And. All right, I'm gonna excuse myself for just a second. Practice this whole line here real quick, which is the thirds and the 6. All right, so practice that real quick. I'm going to stop my video just for a second and my audio. I'll be right back. Give me 1 second, please. Okay, I'm back. I do have to go to the bathroom, but I did not do that. I just wanted to blow my nose. All right, so we're going to play this together. Okay, good. Yeah, trying to look at, yeah. Here we go. Let's try this. Here we go. So this measures 5, 6, 7, 8, 3, and... Now switch to the 6. Yeah, and again, you could have done all 6 the whole time. You could have done that here, or you could have done thirds the whole time. So it's just kind of a... You know, music is about choices. So if you have you ever written a song, or have you ever written lyrics, or have you ever written a poem, or ever written a book, or ever written a chord progression, or anything, right? It's all about choices. There's not a right or a wrong choice that you can make. It's just, it makes it different. You could have done even something even different, right? That's not a, you could have done some counterpoint. You could have done chords. I mean, you could have done finger style. There's so many options that you can have for this. Yeah, Lane says our third degree etude, Enjoying Life, is our song. Okay. Now, the last part, I could have played it just like the first part. I could have played it just... Oh. And called it a day. And been like, all right, that's it. That's it, guys. Thanks for being here. But I wanted to do, again, something different. And I wouldn't necessarily always do this. I would always start with simple. Keep it simple. So I would start with a simple arrangement when you're getting used to this stuff. And then as you progress in your knowledge of chords and knowledge of up the neck, then you can start doing different things. But what I did here is what I wanted to do here, at least. And you can see it here because I am using a low G, but this is going to sound fine with high G. Is I'm actually using, look at the bass note here, look at the 4th string. Now you're getting a little bit more movement here on the 4th string when you get. Okay, so this is hard, all right? So I intentionally made this last part hard. If this is hard for you, because this G shape here on the 5th fret is hard, this C shape right here is hard, even this bar chord C could be hard. If this is hard for you, you could just simply play this part again. Okay? You could start with the simple chords and then work your way up to this harder part. But I wanted to give you a challenge and show you, look at all these chords that maybe you knew or maybe you didn't know or maybe you've never used before, but this G chord up the neck, this C chord up the neck, right? These chord shapes we don't always grab necessarily off the top of our minds, right? We kind of keep it simple, but this part sounds... Now... Really nice. Okay, so it's going to start with that same G chord. How you finger it doesn't really matter in this case because we're not going to do it, but 1 and 2 is fine. Or if you want to do fingers 1 and 3 in typical G chords, fine. But just make sure it stops on the 2nd string. Then we're going to go up to this G chord here. This. And what is this? This is just basically our E chord, right? The E chord that we all dislike. Moved up the F sharp to G. Now I finger this a little different than some of you. I actually finger it, my 2nd finger covers 3 and 4. Then my 3rd finger covers the 2nd string. So I got this, and then I kept my 1st finger. If you can do all 3 fingers, some people like to do this. It starts getting harder as these frets get narrow, right? As the frets move up the neck here, they get narrower and narrower. So depending on how much dexterity, how much strength you have, and also just the size of your fingers. Some of us have thicker fingers, some of us have thinner fingers, so it just depends. But this is how I like to do it right here. This is can you do that? Can you get all those notes nice and clear? Challenge yourself. Even if you've never done this chord or can't do this chord right, just challenge yourself for today. Okay, but that's our 2nd chord. So we got... That's what I did to get... And mainly because I know some of you have been here with me for a while, and I want to make sure you got some challenges here. Then I'm going to take this next chord, the C chord, which is essentially just this shape here. It's essentially your G shape, right? Your G, move it up. to the 7th fret, but I want to get the bass note, so I'm going to bar it. So it's going to look like this, and then add my 3rd finger here to the 4th string. What fret is that? 9th fret. Okay, so. And it's hard. It's hard, and you got to watch how you finger it, because sometimes your intonation can get a little off if you are pressing down too hard. So keep it light if you can. We're looking right there at that C chord right there. Is that a new chord for you? And if you want to bar all 4 strings, that's what that curved line means when you in a chord diagram. When you see a curved line, that just means those 3 notes are barred with the same finger. Now you don't see a 1 here because you're playing a different note here, but you're just barring it. And if you want to bar the all 4 strings, so that's fine too. Whatever's easiest for you. And then you're going to go right back to that G chord, this 5-7-7 G chord. Okay, so this first 2 measures is this. Probably the hardest 2 measures of the entire piece. Right, do it with me. And ready, and this. Let me show you how I do it. Notice how fluid the chord changes are. Now, I know that takes practice. I know it's going to take practice, but just you want to try to be relaxed and trust your fingers. And I'm not killing it. Like, I'm literally not choking the neck, because again, as you start playing up the neck and you start pressing on your ukes, and this works for a lot of instruments, it can start having some intonation problem, and that's just simply because you're grabbing it and you're choking it so hard. Try to keep it light, but still, those notes are ringing out, but keep it light. I don't want to have too much pressure here on my hand. I just want to be nice and relaxed. All right, now that's the hardest part. Now, I think the last 2 measures, at least the next measure, is a little easier because you got just your regular old bar chord C, which most of you have played at some point in time. And it's nice with these chords that you get to stop on the 1st string, so you get to strum all 4 strings. And then the G chord is just like the C chord here, except down here on the 2nd fret. And then the last 2 measures are the same as what we did up here, which is just your regular old D7. And then end with that same old G chord. And again, the reason why I want to do it, look at the bass note you got. It's pretty much the melody, but in the bass. How I wonder what you are. Alright, so let's try it. Actually, let's just do this measure right here, just one more time. The C to this G. And ready, and D7. The G. One more time, just the last 2 measures. Right on the C chord, and again, this will sound fine with high G. So if you have a high G uke and you're playing it, it's going to sound totally fine as well. Might not have the kind of the bass that we're talking about, but it's going to sound fine. All right. Again, this is the hardest part of the song, or this particular arrangement. So let's do it together. From right here, measure 9, 3, and. All right, we'll do the whole song here in just a second. We'll do the whole entire song here in just 1 second. Yep, good. Thank you, Don. You know, you still hear the melody there, right? Even though I'm doing more of a... Even now I'm taking it up a level and I'm doing a little bit more kind of arpeggios. But again, don't get too fancy where you lose the melody. Okay, try to keep it simple. All right, I feel it's doable as well. Yeah, I think it's totally doable as well. So let's play the whole thing, and then I want to talk about the new course, show you some of the offers we have, and then we'll do it. And then we'll wrap it up. All right. So we're gonna do the whole thing. I'll just show the first 2 lines, and then I'll slide to the last line here in a second. So here we go from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Measure 5. Alright, so how did you do on that? I want to feel like we should want to get one more shot. I think one of my nails got hung up there on that. So we'll do it again. I'm not going to say anything either. So just play along with me. We'll do it one more time from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and there is the entire song of our song. So let's talk about this. So this song is actually not in the chord melody course. I might do a separate video for it later. But anyway, while we're here is I just wanted to talk about chord melody. So thank you for joining again. If you're on our YouTube or watching it here or watching it later, but thank you for joining. Now, hopefully you got something a little bit out of it. If you like this, and this is really the thing, we're really excited about the chord melody course that is out. I think now should be ready now. So I just want to go over a little bit about the course because what we put together for you. If you're not a platinum member, what we put together for you is awesome. It's awesome. We were trying to think really hard to provide you with as much value as possible. Some of you might, even if you are a platinum member, might even get it just to give it away to somebody. So anyway, you kind of know essentially what is going to go on in this course already, right? The ukulele fingerstyle chord melody course. I mean, we're going to talk about melody, chords, technical skills, timing, rhythm, confidence, all this stuff. I mean, we already know. I mean, if you like what we just did, that's all going to be in there as well. So here's the songs that we went over in the course. We talk about chord melody. I think I use Yankee Doodle for that particular one. We kind of do the same thing that we just did here, but just on a different song. And then we go through these songs. Oh, The Joy, Happy Birthday, which is actually a more important song than you even realize that you need to know, because how many of you freeze when we play Happy Birthday for people? But anyway, chord melody version. Oh, the Little Circle and Broken. I think I kept a little bit of a simpler version than the one I did earlier. Red River Valley, Aloha Oi, Amazing Grace, Orally, and Simple Gifts, another great song. So anyway, those are all the lessons. It's a big course. They're not short videos because, as you can see, it took us over an hour to get through Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. So they are pretty long videos. But anyway, just like now, you get the videos, close-ups, you get the sheet music, backing tracks as well, killer backing tracks as well. Oh, that's all right here. Okay. So anyway, let's talk a little bit. I just want to show you the offer because I'm excited about it. We have a couple options here for you. We actually put together a bundle for you. Instead of just a course. So instead of just saying here's a course and it's whatever price, we actually decided let's bundle everything. Let's bundle a bunch of stuff up, including a free ukulele. So anyway, so you're gonna get the course. So this course, $107. But if you go to buy it now, that's how much we're selling the course for. Right. So you get the complete course. This is lifetime access, by the way, for all this stuff. So if you purchase this pack, it is lifetime access to it. But we wanted to throw in some other stuff too. Besides this course, which is brand new, out today, very exciting. Always love when we release a new course. We're actually throwing. We did this workshop, not today's workshop, but actually a workshop we did before. So if you might have missed that, that was a while ago. But we're actually going to throw that and that course we sell that workshop as well. So we're going to throw that in as well. And I did this with a power slide. Just didn't want to see, you can visualize all the stuff you're going to see. We did a practice and technique course. This was a really great course on technique and practicing, building up your stamina. So we'll throw that course in. Our 21 ukulele songs challenge course, which is something we did. It's like 21 of the most like popular songs. I don't remember all the songs we did, but there's 21 popular songs that we did. There's videos. I think we sing through them, the charts, everything like that as well in that course. Our soloing course. I mean, some of you remember all these courses, or some of you might have bought these courses by themselves, or some of you, the platinum members have all these courses. So that's 5 courses, right? Yeah, 5 courses so far included. And then our strumming essentials course, which is a nice, easy course on strumming as well. So that's all included in the course, all of it. So you're getting 6 courses instead of just the new one. You're getting 6 courses, and just for what the heck, just because I'm feeling good today, we're actually going to throw in one of our ukuleles for free as well. So actually, we're going to throw in our JT model, which is this soprano long neck. This is a uke that we partnered up with Kala, just like the one I'm playing here. But anyway, we partnered up with Kala on these ukes. We're going to throw this in. Like, this is included, this ukulele. Okay, this sells for $80, this ukulele. And then if you want, it's a little extra charge, but if you want to upgrade to the concert size with the cutaway and the pickup, or the tenor, we also have a tenor for this as well, you can do that. It's a little bit extra for the concert, a little extra for the tenor, but you can do that as well if that's something you want to do with it. So you're going to get, anyways, all those courses and a free ukulele. This one's free. This one's totally free. Anyway, if you add it all up, $681. So just guess. I mean, I don't even know if you guys want to guess. But if you do it today, we're just going to offer this today, just because you're here, you like ukulele. I mean, I wanted to make this a no-brainer. Like, seriously, I just wanted to make this like, this is a no-brainer to get all these courses and a free ukulele. And if you bought them all individually, we're just going to do them for $197 today. So $197, you get all that. There's a QR code right there. We'll put it in the chat. Put the link in the chat too for it. Anyway, and this is lifetime access, by the way. So all these courses, you're going to get these lifetime access to these courses. They won't expire or anything like that. The uke is yours as well to keep. So anyway, $197 for that course. So that's option number 1. I mean, that's really, hopefully we try to make it as easy as possible for you to jump in here and get not only the new fingerstyle chord melody course, but also just jump into us and make a commitment to, us and you and your playing and stuff like that. So that's option 1. We'll put the links as well, the direct link, but there's a QR code you can scan if you want. And then the other option 2, is our platinum membership. But, oh yeah, by the way, sorry, I forgot the next slide. We're only doing like 10 of these. So if you go to the website, what's going to happen is once you purchase it, you'll get an email with the thing and we're just doing 10 of these for the free uke. So grab it now. You're still going to get all the courses, but if you grab them first 10, then we're going to give away a uke. I mean, we can't give away tons of ukes, but we want to, you're here, you're watching it, you want to get that to you. The other option is our platinum membership, and we've been doing this for a little while, and this is we only have a few of these ukes left, but our platinum membership option, if you do the yearly, you get everything. Right? You get all our courses, including this one, the new one, all the workshops we've done, all these kind of workshops we've done, all the live stuff, and we've been now up to the beginning Q&A, the ukulele Q&A, which is Friday, which is what this normally is, Friday. We do a Hawaiian Q&A with the great Larry Santos. We do our baritone Q&A, and then we haven't done much guitar-related Q&As, but we have like years of guitar-related Q&As that you get access to if you're a guitar-related player. Our VIP challenge and giveaways. Matter of fact, a lot of these arrangements came from these challenges and giveaways. We give away ukes. We give away all kinds of stuff for the challenges. And then right now, I think we only have 3 left. That's what it was. If you buy this yearly membership, you actually don't get the other JT model, but you get this version of the concert version, which is this one, which one I've been playing the whole time. And then again, if you want to upgrade to the tenor size, or maybe baritone, I don't know if we offer the baritone upgrade. It's a little extra for the tenor size, which this one is, but as well. So you get a free uke, and we've been doing that for a little while, so we're actually going to switch our offer up, but we do have 3 left of these particular concert ones. These are go for I think 100, and I think the tenor goes for 189 or 179 or something like that. So I think the concerts go for like 159 or $69 for the concert ukulele by itself. So you get a free uke, and you almost pay for almost most of your membership. So anyway, a lot of people here are platinum members. So anyway, it's all there. It's really the best thing. So really, you have a couple options. So hopefully you jump into one of them. I mean, this is, to me, is a no-brainer, under $200 for all these courses, a new course and a free ukulele. I mean, we try to make this as easy for you guys as possible. I feel good about it, no doubt about it. I love our JT ukes. I love these ukes. I play them all the time. I mean, I play these ukes. I love all these ukes. These are our, I love all these ukes, and that's why we partner with Kala on them to know, they're the biggest ukulele company in the world, so we know you're getting a quality instrument. But anyway, those are our 2 offers. We're going to run those through today, and then once the ukes sell out, I mean, then you can still get the courses and stuff, but the free ukes are only going to be so many of them. I think that's really the majority of things. So those are your 2 options, the Chord Melody course. And again, platinum members, you should have that in your soon. Let me see if it might be in there already. Might be already in your Q&A or in your library already. If you're a platinum member, or like I said, maybe you buy this for a kid. Christmas is it's a little ways off, but would make a great Christmas present as well. All these courses, and you can gift this stuff to you, others, or the platinum membership. Now, before I go, it's 10:25. I know some of you got to go. I just want to show you. Yeah, of course. I mean, obviously, I know not everybody is interested or can afford this stuff, but that's why we did this for you, just so you can get in here and get some stuff. Yeah, thank you, Ron. We try to do a lot. I mean, I think we have at least usually 3 Q&As a week, sometimes 4 different Q&As, live stuff. We try to do a lot for everybody. Oh, awesome. Kathleen, awesome. Thank you. Yeah, some of you got to go. Real quick, I want to show you what I did earlier, because this is in your handout. And I understand we've been going an hour and a half now. Usually the Q&As go about an hour, so we're a little bit longer than normal. But I wanted to show you this arrangement that I did at the top of the song. We won't go through the whole thing because this could take another hour. And platinum members have already gone over it. But this song that I showed earlier in the workshop, which is the Wildwood Flower Melody. This is in your handout, by the way. Okay, so we have some extra bonus stuff for you in there. This is the melody, and it's the same process that I went through with this song as I did for the other stuff. So here's your melody of it. Play the melody first. Like if you want to tackle this arrangement I'm about to show you, do this first. Get the melody down. Just play the melody so you know it, you hear it, you have it in your head. There used to be I don't remember who it was, but one of the great jazz saxophone players, it might have been like Dexter Gordon or, but they'd always said, before you pick up your instrument, in this case a saxophone, to play the melody, sing it. Like, can you sing it? Like, if it has lyrics, can you sing it? If it doesn't have lyrics, can you just hum it? You can just hum the melody. So that's actually not bad advice, is being able to play the melody, because again, the melody is king. Okay, the melody is king. Now, this arrangement that I did, and what I'll do is I'll just show it to you here. And again, this is in your packet. And then if you're a platinum member, if you sign up for the platinum membership, there's exclusive Q&As that we did for this particular song. There's a bunch of stuff we did for this. This was part of the last challenge that we did, not too recently. But this is the arrangement I played. This is pretty much note for note the arrangement I played, and I'll play it again here. I'm going to talk a little bit about the slides here. We'll wrap it up here soon. I know we've been here a long time. But this is how you kind of some more advanced stuff in a chord melody, like some slide, hammer on. A little bit more finger stuff. Hammer on. And notice I kind of switch between finger style and even some finger style. But this is kind of like next level, and I think I did at least 2, maybe 3 versions of this for when we did it for our members. And this is the more, I guess this is level 2. So I did a more basic version of it, and then this one's a little more advanced because you have the hammer-ons, you have even a chordal 2-note hammer-on at this one, some slides, excuse me, and then when you're able to speed it up a little bit, it sounds good. So this is in your handout that you can actually play, or why don't you, well, let's just for the heck of it, I'll do it 2 times. We'll do it once with it on the screen. Try to do it with me here. I know it's a lot. That's too, I can't see what you're saying. So let's try to do it. I'll do it kind of slow, and then I'll do it one more time fast for you. All right, here we go. 3, and it got a pickup here on beat 4. So 1, 2, 3. All right, now that's kind of next level, right? We were at Twinkle Twinkle Little Star to something like this. Now let me do it one more time. I'll just do a hair faster. All right, and there's the whole thing like that. So anyway, let's wrap it up here. One more time, I'll just show you the offers one more time. Again, platinum members, go if you're a platinum member, check for that course. Let us know what you think of it. Give us some feedback. You're gonna have all the videos in there. You have the downloadable PDFs, and you have the backing tracks as well, slow and fast backing tracks. So grab that if you're already a platinum member. Grab that. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Oh, the book. Yeah, we're actually making a book of this as well. I guess this is another thing, which is almost done. I know sometimes we do these pre-sales of books and it takes a while. This book is actually pretty much done. I just got to add a few text. But when you're doing a pre-sale of the book for $10, that link is in there. But anyway, last time here before we go, just real quick, I just want to go over the 2 options we have for it today. with the free uke, the whole Chord Melody pack, you're going to get this our new course here. Oops, I didn't mean to move that. You're going to get the entire new course. You saw the videos earlier. I think there's 10 songs in that course, step by step, kind of like what we did today. Plus, we're going to throw in 5 other courses: the Chord Melody Workshop, which is like this, about an hour, hour and a half. The Ukulele Practice and Technique Bootcamp course, the 21 Songs course, the Beginning Ukulele Soloing course, and our Ukulele Strumming Essentials course, and the 10 that we have left of the JT Soprano Long Neck, and with the or if you want to upgrade to the concert tenor, $197 right now. We'll put that link in. We'll probably send some emails out as well for you on that. We'll put the links as well, or the QR code. So that's one option. Or if you're ready to kind of go all in, commit yourself to the Platinum membership for a year, you get all the access to everything. We have like 30 courses, over 30 courses. We probably have maybe 6 or 7 courses already filmed that we'll be releasing within like this. I don't know exactly when, but we're soon, because we got the baritone Chord Melody, we got Christmas Chord Melody, we got a bunch of stuff coming up. All the workshops, all the live, and you get the SSMHG uke for free. And I think we have 3 of those left. So, but it's $359 for the entire year, and you get a free uke, which is pretty much covers over half of the cost of the membership. Those are your 2 options for now. Hopefully you jump into one of them. Come back and be a part of what we do here at Uke Like The Pros. I appreciate having you all. I know we went a little long today, but thanks for sticking with us. Everyone on our YouTube as well. That's at Uke Like The Pros. Let me go over there real quick before we sign out here. Okay, good. Awesome. Everyone's there. So anyway, I'm going to stop the stream over here on YouTube. So thank you all. I appreciate it. I'm going to stop the YouTube stream. We'll see you over at Uke Like The Pros here real soon. Or if you need anything, ukulele, accessories, guitar, whatever, terrycartermusicstore.com. That's our store. So anyway, I appreciate y'all being here. I'm going to end the YouTube stream here. All right, and that. All right. And